weather these days is so strange. Like, it's currently cold enough for mittens. I've got mitten on my other hand, not on your hand, obviously. But then later today, it's going to be 18 degrees. It's going to be hot. Also, driving in, so foggy. It's like pea soup as you're just driving along, and it's just, I can see about like 300 yards or something like that, and that's it. It's so bizarre. But then later, it's just going to burn off. How odd. Home from a day where we didn't get a crazy amount of stuff done, but we got some stuff done. I had a few fiddly things to fiddle with. We're taking the evening off from work today for two reasons. Firstly, someone I used to work with has just suggested that we go play some tennis, so I'm going to go play some tennis. But also, just got through the post World War Z, the Xbox game. It's currently installing. I'm going to play that with the Apex boys later tonight. So, looks like a good game. It looks like one of them games where you can play it. It's like one of them games where if you've had a bad day, you can just go shoot the shit out of some fucking zombies, you know what I mean, boys? The closest thing I have to tennis appropriate wear is my old gym clothes, which I can put a tennis ball in, and my old Converse, which are fine. They're more trainery than my new Converse because of the inner sole, but the toe does come up a little bit. Like the sole is coming slightly loose from the toe, which may cause me problems. In fact, maybe my old, no, I probably binned them, didn't I? I did my old, because these are now my new longboard shoes. My old longboard shoes are the ones that are duffed. I binned them because they were really ruined. But anyway, I just gotta wait for the green light now, I guess. You know what a fun evening. I got home from work, literally just went, go play tennis. We played tennis for about an hour and a half. I mean, I am so out of shape, it's unreal. But I had a hoot. Skateboarded there, skateboarded back, had some dinner, and then played World War Z with your boy, the Apex boys. It was really good. It's a good game too. If you like Left 4 Dead, you'll like it. It's just as simple as that, really. It is basically Left 4 Dead 2, or Left 4 Dead 3, or Left 4 Dead 2 the remake. So, there's something satisfying about just like a load of zombies trying to climb up to the roof where you're at, and then you just machine gun the base of the pyramid that they're trying to climb up, and they all fall down. Oh god damn, that's good. But yeah, we played that for a little bit longer than I half expected, like 2.5 hours, which is a lot. So, right, bedtime. I wasn't hugely looking forward to today, going into it, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Some somewhat difficult conversations to have, and I hit the point in time where I have to semi-concede the MongoDB point. I had a little bit of a bat around at my level, and I've forked the version so that I'm halfway through developing a fully SQL one. I've got the main database is now SQL, but I just need to get the sagas to be SQL Server stuff. It's ludicrous. It's literally ludicrous how much extra code is needed to get the same thing out of into Mongo, in and out of SQL compared to Mongo. To clarify, I didn't pick Mongo just because I'm lazy. I picked it because it makes sense. Because this thing, I'm literally forcing a relationship onto something that there isn't really a relationship. And the complexity of adding that relationship in, when really it's just a stash. It's just a cached object. It's such a pain in the ass. But I got there in the end. I had a bit of a fight with Dapper to get it working. I've never actually set up inserts before with Dapper. It's only ever been a read-only database with Dapper. So that was interesting. Thankfully, swapping the Saga database over should literally just be a case of flicking a NuGet package, installing a new NuGet package, and then just flicking a connection string, which is good. But that is future me's problem, because I don't have to look at that now until Tuesday. I actually stayed late because I thought I'd get there. I thought I'd be able to do it in time, and then I just very quickly typed in mass transit SQL into NuGet and nothing came up. And then I was like, fuck it. It's going to be something like mass transit.saga.mysql server or some shit like that, but I cannot be asked trying to figure out what it is when I'm already 15 minutes late. It's a massive pain, and I still don't want to concede Mongo. For the simple reason, this is a brand new microservice. In theory, we're allowed to use whatever database we want to use, whatever fits it best, and this, if any of them ever, is the most Mongo-y database ever invented. And the thing is, if we go live with a SQL database, that's it. We're done. It's game over. It's never going back to Mongo. And then we have to find another perfect example. Perfect fucking thing. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say to you? Really annoying, but I have to concede on that point. Other news, I played tennis for about 1.5 hours yesterday, and my fucking booty is sore AF, is not in the mood for anything right now. It's just like, I can barely walk. I'm a cripple. I don't understand how so little exercise can just fuck me over. I'm so unfit. God damn, it's so embarrassing. Just leaning on this cabinet, man. God damn. But Laura is not coming home tonight for a while. She's having dinner out with some mates and then having some drinks. So I'm cooking. That's how that works. I'm cooking a batch, chili batch, because hashtag batch week. So I am due to cook more and more batches. Got a green pepper here that's going to go in it. Is that all we need? Do I need to save the other one? I think I do. Yep, I do. Oh, but yeah, otherwise it's not been too bad a day. Yeah, Laura's been persuaded into more and more drinks. She asked me for a lift at one point and then decided that she was going to get another drink, so she bailed on the lift. I've been playing World War Z, so nothing productive on my end. It's a fun game. It's a fun game. It's literally, it's fun in all the same ways that my muscles are so achy. Left 4 Dead is. 100% recommend. It's a hoot to play with. So I'm trying to get it out of my system so that I don't want to play it either when Laura's around or when Laura's working, because then I'll be working. I'm going to try and get back on the old working hype as I do. You know me. Just put these chilies in the freezer. Live a crazy life. The thing is, I want a cup of tea, but if I make one, Laura will immediately ask for a lift. So there's no point. There is literally 0 point me making one. Oh, my booty. Effectively no vlog from me today. Literally nothing to add. It's been chuffing warm. That's all I know about today. It's been like 20 plus odd degrees. I'm busting out the shorts. It's insane. It's been very unproductive as well, which is not good. Spent a little bit of time working this morning, tidying up some stuff that I did a couple of days ago. Just giving it the final like lick and polish. I'm trying to figure out how to deal with errors properly from my the way that I'm communicating to Azure DevOps. It spits back different responses to me every now and again. Let's do my nutting. And it's not very clear why it failed, and that's the biggest pain point, I think. When it's up and running it should be alright, but the problem is it's things that I'm doing on the user's behalf, and it's so like vague. It's so it's so opaque about what's happening behind the scenes. And in theory, I want to get to the point where you can just run it and it'll work. And I think what I really need to do there is start integrating with the security API, so that I actually hit the API and say, what permissions do I have, and do I have the right permissions that I need? But it's so like nuanced. It's not just a case of what permissions I have, it's what permissions I have within a project. Because I have 2 users. One is the owner of the thing and is admin of everything, and the other one is me, the admin of most things. But there's things that I created my token and I was logged in as the second me, not the master me, and I had every single token that is allowed to give me, and it still wasn't enough. And then what that does is it gives me an argument exception, and then an argument exception when calling the API, so it spits back as a 400. I'm like, that's no use to me. It's not giving me a reasonable error message or anything. So it's a pain point that I'm trying to circumnavigate, but that's by the by. Otherwise, really annoyed at myself for not doing any other kind of work today. Just played a bit of Xbox. We spent some time outside. Went to went and bought a barbecue in preparation for doing a barbecue. And then just watched TV tonight. It's generally not good enough, to be honest with you. Might be bank holiday, but it's not the point. Also, tomorrow we are going to the beach. beach, so I'm not getting any work done tomorrow either. This is that thing where I fall out of productivity and then kick myself and then force myself to try and be productive, and then that never really effectively works. It's 22 degrees in this room. Jesus. Actually, the one thing I have been doing to try and get productive is rejig all of my home screens on my phone. And I've tried a couple of different launchers. I almost went with the Microsoft launcher. I would have done if it let me add multiple pages of apps. God damn it. And wasn't quite so glitchy with the gestures. But I'm trying to reduce how much I use my phone for things that aren't productive based. So I've got like utilities on the first thing. To-do list. Want to get back into using to-do lists. I need to get better again. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Who's excited? I'm still a bit achy, but we'll survive. There might, if there's good surf, I might try a bit of surfing. Maybe. But I don't think there's going to be good surf, looking at the forecast. Every time I come somewhere sunny like this, I remind myself of having to make up an excuse to buy myself a GoPro, so that I don't have to deal with how hideous it looks on this camera anymore. Had our lunch, we've been reading for a bit. We've come to Porthcawl, which is in South Wales. We don't often come to beaches like this. We normally go to like the more quieter ones. This is much more of like a seaside resort than a beach. It's really nice, apart from the fact that I've got bored of reading, so I'm coming for a wander to have a look around the rocks, see if I can see any fish or stuff. I think actually all the way over there, where's my finger? There. That's where we normally go to the beach. It's cool. It's less pretty than the other one, but it's in theory a surfing beach. No one is out surfing though. Is that true? Yeah, no, it's too shallow and not wavy enough. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to start looking at the weather, at surf forecasts. And instead of being like, oh, the weather's nice this weekend, let's go to the beach. Is the surfing good? Do the other way around. So try my hardest not to burn. It's very hot today. But yeah, we'll see. I think last time we came, it was a bit cooler than this. Last time we went to the beach. And I've never burnt so badly, let alone in England. It was really bad. So, there's nothing really to look at down here, is there? I thought I'd try and find some crabs or some shit. But, never been crabbing before, don't know what I'm looking for. Don't really want to get my feet wet in the sea itself, so let's wander back. Well, not a lot of crabs found, I didn't find any crabs. I went back and sat with Laura. We had a great day at the beach. We had some lunch. I had olives. So that's as middle class as it gets, boys. And then we just had like a really big picnic. Read our books. I went for a wander, bit of an explore, and then we went to go get some ice cream, and then we headed on home. I think the aircon's on the blitz, on the fritz in the car. It's not as cold as it should be, if at all. I think it basically just doesn't work. I'm gonna have to look at either getting that fixed or looking at ways of diagnosing what could possibly be wrong with it. Just a bit odd because it got serviced not long ago. But yeah, it's by the by, pain in the ass, but that's life, innit? One hot ass day to drive back though. Wasn't a pleasant drive back. It's been cooking. It's been absolutely cooking today. I appreciate it. Bit of my nose is a bit red here. Don't worry about that. But we've had a nice chilled out evening. Watched Get Out. Oh well, I watched it. More offensive. She didn't really want to watch it because it's too horror-y. But yeah, watched Get Out. It is good. I think Us is better, but it was good. Also, though, I didn't know the twist going into Us. I knew the twist going into that. So fair enough. What else? Yeah, that's about it really. It has been very, very, very warm today. We haven't really done anything. We've been hermiting. It's obviously Easter Sunday, so everything's closed. Had bacon sandwiches, slowly got ready, and then what did I do this morning? Oh no, this morning we made our Easter eggs. We do that thing where we get an Easter egg, crack it in half, and then we fill it with marshmallows, cream eggs, sprinkles, mini eggs. We did that, and then Laura's been pottering around in the garden. I've been doing work on my laptop, trying to get my the Azure function thing to bite properly. It's not biting the way that I wanted it to. I'm not really sure what's happening. It seems to be getting swallowed up by mass transit at the moment. So I'm trying to debug that. I switched methodology, so that it's going from Azure service, it's going to Azure Service Bus instead of webhook, HTTP webhook. I could switch back and then just turn this into a publisher. I feel like I might end up doing that because there seems to be a nuance in the way that this works. It seems to just work if you look at samples online, what I've got, but it's just getting swallowed up, and it's not that it can't deserialize the message. That's working fine. It just won't get through to my consumer. So I feel like I'm gonna have to swap for. Just got fucking fluff in my hair. So I feel like I can get the message body out, and I can punt that through to something like Mediator, or call the consumer directly. I want to figure out what's going on with it, but the problem is it's not logging anything, so it's not telling me why it's broken. But yeah, we're currently cooking dinner. It's about to get to the point where I've got to start cooking stuff properly. So I'm going to put the laptop down for a little bit and have a little think. Figured out what the problem was. The problem was twofold. Firstly, the first mistake I made was not awaiting asynchronous function, which is obviously pretty freaking stupid. Second one isn't much better. It's me expecting mass transit to understand something that isn't mass transit. I need to put the message into so the question is, I can either put the message into a mass transit style envelope and then smash it in, or I could just do that all by hand of that little bit there, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Which is kind of ironic really, because it means that I'm using like the NuGet package that's designed to host mass transit in an Azure function, but that doesn't mean, I kind of assumed that would mean, I don't know why, that it could take messages that are just plain messages in Azure Service Bus and pump it into mass transit to handle. It doesn't do that. Why I assumed it would do that, I don't frickin' know, but that's by the by, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? All your boy needs to do now is trying to figure out how to safely do the typecasting, because effectively like lots of different types of message can come through and I need to just pick them out and then map them into something and just punt them into Mediator. That's my plan, basically, and just shove them into Mediator and then roll from there, to be honest. Whereas previously I would have been going to mass transit, just go to Mediator, a bit of a waste of time. But god damn it. Anyway, that's that, ladies and gentlemen. We will sort that out tomorrow now, as tomorrow's problem. You know what I've got on a bit of an unhealthy obsession with recently? Ginger beer. I have ginger beer a lot. Ever since I went to Formula 1 and Dad busted out some ginger beer, I'm like, I really like this stuff. So now, anytime we go out for a meal, this is what I have, it's what I order. Every time I go somewhere and get a drink that isn't alcoholic, it's what I do order. And we got some cans of it from Sainsbury's to when we were going on that picnic thing yesterday. Day before. And it's really good, it's really nice. Also, surprisingly good for you. Less than 1% of your daily intake on everything. Sugar included. Insane. Quite a productive day today, but I'm starting to get a headache towards the end of the day. And I'm like, my head is just really heavy. It's not like I've got a headache or anything, it's just like, I don't know what it is. Laura thinks it's a heat, but I'm like, I've not been outside like you have. Laura's probably, Laura's got very similar, but she's been out in the sun basically all weekend making the most of it, and I've been working inside, being productive, as you know. So yeah, we went shopping and whatnot today, the standard Monday stuff, but effectively we've just been working away. Laura's been pottering in the garden, I've been doing programming. I've migrated my thing now to use Service Bus rather than webhooks, which should make it a lot more reliable. The code for the old way as well, it's just disconnected. But yes, I'm now currently just building out the function, so I'm kind of like attacking it from both ways. Doing whenever it's not too hot to work in the office, working on the microservices, and then when I'm working on my laptop, I'm working on the cloud function. It is good fun. It is very good fun. What else did we do today? We went shopping today. We went to town this morning to do some standard summer shopping. I needed some t-shirts. I bought some t-shirts, and the person in the shop was like, "Oh, could I just take your email address for your receipt?" And I went, "No, I've never been more proud of myself. They say that as if I have to give you the email. No, I don't. Just fucking print me a receipt. I don't want you to have my email. God damn. Make this push to make things done by email, because on the guides that it saves paper. Just print me off a small piece of paper with a barcode on it then. Like, I don't need your fucking goddamn email and your fucking marketing. Need to be an unidentifiable data point moving through your shop, alright? Even if you don't use it to send me emails. Anyway, that's by the way. But yeah, so it's been productive. It's the end of our lovely, nice long bank holiday weekend though. 4-day weekend. We're now rolling into a 4-day week. It's going to be a fun 4-day week, and then we've got a fun weekend coming up again, but it's not. So we're in that like 4-week, 5-week, 4-week, 5-week, 4-week, I think. Should be good fun. So yeah. Back to work tomorrow. It's also going to be really freaking hot tomorrow, and our air conditioning's broken. So I need to look at getting that booked in somewhere to be fixed, which is going to be fun. Right. Thanks for watching this video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will be back for more exciting hijinks and productivity in the future. I think I said in this video, reorganised my phone and stuff to be more productive, and I'm trying to be, like, productivity is supposed to be the key. But I think it's going well. The problem is, I tried this app, sorry I was about to sign off there, tried this app called Forest, where you do the 25-minute timer thing, and you can like plant trees. But the problem with that kind of thing is it's only really useful if I do that all the time. But I want something that like kicks me into it, and it's not made good for that. Because I feel like, yeah, something I tried, but it's not something I'm going to use very regularly. Yeah, I don't know what it is I'm looking. I'm looking basically on the market for apps that help you be productive when you aren't being productive, I guess. And I thought an app like that, which kind of forces you to not use your phone in certain ways, might be advantageous, but it's not working out for me. I'm just trying to figure out what it is that I need. Yeah, which reminds me, I gotta go. I'll catch you later.